Hi there, wonderful awakening beings and spiritual souls. Jo Rose of JoRose.com, numerologist and energy forecaster. In this video, I'm sharing with you the numerology forecast for July 2020. Before I get into July, let's take a quick recap of what 2020 has in store for us. It's a 4 energy. How do I know this? By adding together and reducing down all the digits of the current year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals 4. As a quick snap of what 4 has in store for us throughout this year, it's about structure, stability, security, systems, grounding, foundations, loyalty, logic, practical, and team. The flip side of this energy is intolerance, control, narrow-minded, stubborn, critical, and judgmental. Now, we may be finding ourselves being very judgmental of a number of things right now. I want to suggest that you get back into the core of who you are, the soul of who you are, the uniqueness, and the way that you've got your own sat nav and guide within. There is a lot of retros still going on. The retrogrades that I mentioned last month, they are still playing out right now, and so their energy is going to be tense for a while, even though July is about slowing down. The lesson of the 4 energy is to persist through adversity, and the one thing I keep recommending is that you build and care for your own immune system. Remember, I said it's about it's about systems. We're really laying the foundations, and sometimes the foundations of some old structure or system needs to fall in preparation for a new system, and I feel sure that's what is going on right now. We've got an energy playing out now. You could call it a spiritual war, the dark and the light. And for me, I'm struggling with the dark, hence why I'm in my bright clothes at the moment. I wanted to shoot the video in the garden. I've done it a number of times these last few days. It's so windy, we can't hear me. So something's stopping me and forcing me inside. But anyway, here I am. July. Now, July is the 7th month. To understand the energy of the month, we would add 7 to the 4 of the current year. That's 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So what we've got is a 2 energy this month. What is 2 bringing to us? It's bringing to us relationships, patience, cooperation, harmony, love, support. It's a slower energy. It's time to observe, witness, and see. When I think of 2020, I think of 2020 vision. 2020 vision means to stand back 24 and be able to see clearly. Maybe we need to step back or step forward to see what's going on, whether that's in the world or within our own relationships. This is a month of relationships, and I will come back to that in a moment after I mention the flip side of the 2 energy. You may find yourself hypersensitive, very emotional, possibly critical, codependent, shy, indecisive, moody, self-conscious, and weak. I feel exhausted myself. I've struggled. I've pulled my back now. I'm in I'm actually moving into the 3rd week of pulling my back, and so it's causing me a number of problems. I seem to have attracted all sorts of ailments over this year in the lockdown, and I'm getting a little bit tired of it. However, it leaves me sitting down and doing plenty of research. I hope you've been doing plenty of research. It really is time to ask better questions. So what's the lesson of the 4? I want to say, do not force anything. I shared before Power versus Force by David Hawkins. I'll leave the picture here for you to take a look at again. I feel this is really important to understand this. Do not force anything. It's time to be. It's about being in the moment, feeling the energy. Get out of your head. It's not a head-based energy. It's a creative, caring, harmonious, peaceful energy. You are worthy of whatever it is that you feel you are not worthy of, and you are worthy of slowing down and taking time. Perhaps you're back at work and it doesn't feel right. It's really time to realign ourselves. I mentioned about being, I want you to, or I'm suggesting that you stand still, sense the energy, get a knowing. Intuition needs to come forward, because that is the route to your sat nav, and that will tell you what's right or wrong. Recently in my video, I think it was probably the May video, I shared with you how to find your truth by using kinesiology, either the toss of the coin and how you feel when it lands, or I always do this to understand whether I can make a decision whether something feels right. There is so much controversial going on out there. There are two sides. So look about calming down, taking a deep breath before you share anything. I've been guilty of losing it recently. Anger pops up. I feel like I'm not getting through, even to myself. And so what I want to say is, take that deep breath and ground yourself. Remember, the 4 all year is about grounding yourself. I would have loved to shot this video outside on the grass, on the lawn, but that wasn't possible because of the sound quality. Now, last month was a 1 energy, and I suggested it was time for hope and new seeds to have been sown. I hope you've planted new seeds. It's time to look at what needs to be nurturing of those seeds, what needs to be let go of. Get your bearings, know your direction, know your coordinates. You've probably felt like you're in a boat without the oars. I feel now perhaps the oars are in sight, or you've just got to do some more communication in order to get those oars. Know what you want and not what's being drummed into you, and follow that. Take the consequences of it and take the rewards that come with it. When we can each be true to ourselves, we can move forward in an energy that's more positive, because people will begin to shine, because they're doing what they feel is best for them and what they love. And when we do this, we begin to shine bigger, bolder, brighter and better. And that's what I'm suggesting, is to really connect with you. Now, over the last few months, the chances are you've been biting your tongue. Perhaps there's conversations that you've wanted to have and you haven't had. It could be with the people that you're living with. Now that lockdown is easing week on week, it may feel like you're escaping. Are you just getting out and coming back to the same thing? Does that relationship serve you? Go back and check with these relationships, and if it does serve you, work out how you can come together, whether that means getting some form of coaching, counseling, therapy, or just sitting there talking about how you generally feel with one another. Next month's going to be very much the 3 and expressing yourself, but I want you to just spend some time assessing your relationships. Who are your friends and who are you friendly with? Are you being true to yourself? Are they your friends, and are those friends really being true to you? We need to create a harmonious, supportive environment. The 2 energy does heighten emotions. So emotions could be high. Old issues may have come up. You could be forced to speak up and share how you really feel. Be true to you. That's the best advice I can give you, is be true to you. There will be consequences. We cannot please everybody all the time. But if we focus on pleasing the self and understanding how our behavior affects others, we can understand how to move forward. Deep old emotions and wounds are still rising right now, so take time out to work through them. I'm suggesting also that we really feel the 2 energy of this month, because it's here for a decade. Not just a 2, but a double 2 is here for the decade. We had the 2 for the whole millennium. We have a double 2 for the decade. And now we're adding a 2 into this month. Build your relationships. Let go of the relationships that don't serve you. Honestly, it's about relationships, calmness, and harmony we were looking for this month. When I talk about relationships, I want to suggest that you love the self. Love the inner child within, the one that you've been suppressing most of your life. If you could go back and connect with that inner child and listen to what that inner child said, stop putting it away for somewhere in the future and start addressing it now. Be the best parent you can be to that inner child, and also love the rejected parts of you. Warts and all, as I say. Look, it's your life. LYFE. Love yourself first every day. When you can do that, you put yourself in better situations, better environments, and that enables you to love us. When we love us, we're not only loving the self, we're loving the other person, or not only loving the other person, we're loving the self. But we also understand by doing this, and because we've gone through self-love, that we're helping them follow their path and raise their vibration also. It's time to unite. I want to say all lives matter. And I know that could be controversial, but I really generally mean all lives matter. And that starts with your own life. We're so busy making sure everyone else is okay at the moment. We're not making sure that we are. Let's take a 2020 vision look into what we want. What clarity, what kind of world do we want to move along into? Feel and explore your emotions. They resonate, they're your sat-nav. I've shared in a number of videos that I've had to speak up or speak out or stop this or let something go because I check in with the resonance. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Your biggest guide is your internal being, your soul. So let your soul guide you. I know that might upset your ego for a while, but if your ego and soul could become best friends, then you'll be able to move forward confidently and courageously. And when we get to courageous, that's when we can start making big difference, not in just in our own life, but within the world. I've said trust your feelings and go with what you want, and it could cause you to lose some friendships. This need to belong or belong in, if you look at that word, belonging, we're constantly longing to be accepted. When we accept ourselves, believe it or not, we attract like-minded people. We attract the tribe of people that also accept us, and where they're mixing in the energy that we prefer. So let go of belonging and just own who you are, and then let it out. Become your true self. Now, the 2 energy is very much a feminine energy. The last millennium was a 1. It was about me, myself, and I. There's this big energy playing out right now about me, myself, and I. And we really want to move into this care and compassionate. When we think about the soldiers or the people on the front line that have helped us, they've been caregivers, whether that be doctors, nurses, people in the supermarkets or the postman delivering. They're all caregivers. They're not the 1 energy, they're the 2 energy. So when we think about the feminine energy, we want to look at demonstrations and protests, not riots and war. War has solved nothing. It's cost a lot of money, it's taken lives, caused devastation, and we're constantly rebuilding afterwards. The 1 energy is dissipating right now. The old regime is falling and the light is wanting to come through. Now, when I talk about light, illumination, I want to go back to the energy that I mentioned this month has. When I calculated July the 7th month, adding it to the 4 of 2020, I said it was an 11. Now, in numerology, 11 is a master number, and I want to focus on this 11 right now. Even though we have this 2 energy, that's there, that's the grounding of the master number 11. I created a video back in 2018, and I suggested to you that this was the number of illumination. This is the number where everything is in neon lights for you to see, should you choose to see it. Some people want to bury their head, some people hope it's going to go away, and some people have seen the light, have seen the difference. Some people have awoken or awakening, or more becoming aware of what's been going on past, current, and planned for the future. 11-2, the master number, is about illumination, uplifting, inspiration, intuition, insight, idealism. Again, it has a flip side. It can be manipulative, intense, obsessive, possessive, and egotistical. Do you remember I said to you the ego and the soul? There is a war going on within yourself, and as well as that energy externally. Sort the war within yourself, and chances are the external war of the spirits light and dark will also sort themselves out. The lesson of the 11 is to trust your intuition. If things are not working out, do the opposite. If you always say yes, say no. If you always say no, say yes. Or at least find the balance between them. If you haven't researched and you've relied on mainstream media to give you the information, start doing your own homework and delve. And if you're totally wrapped up in doing your own research and don't know where the other people are, check in with mainstream media. Find your own resonance, your own guidance. Find your independence, know what serves you and support you. Now, more than ever, the feminine energy is rising. Love is the strongest energy, and that's what we need to be focusing on right now. Love and light overcomes fear and dark. It's time to repent, to pray, to meditate, to heal the self and humanity. People cannot love you unless you love yourself. Like attracts like. Now, confusion will be playing out right now. 11-2 brings us the 1 or the double 1 and the 2. When we see two numbers next to one another, as in 1 and 2, there will always be a conflict. So there is going to be conflict. This good really wants to come through, but we've got to deal with the dark as well. The masculine energy is pushing and forcing and manipulating us, but the 2 energy is allowing us to see what's going on. So step back, slow down, and really feel your way through this month. It's a time to be patient, to observe your own fears as well, and don't be impatient about what's going on. I know we want to really shift through this period of time, but we need to understand this period of time in order not to come back. They're taking the statues down all over the place, or they have been, whether they still are, I'm not sure. But the statues coming down is probably not the best solution, because if we wipe out history, how do we know what's happened to this point? Everything that's brought us to this point is where we are now, and this is what we need to look at. We need to learn from the past, make the decisions now, so we can create that brighter, better future. Within your conversations this month, bear in mind your tone. It needs to be a gentle, calm, non-blame, non-shame energy. Let go. I've seen so many trolls online and name calling and all sorts of things. That's not helping. If people can't see your point of view, let them go. It's okay that they've got a point of view. And it may have some sense that perhaps you haven't looked at. If you're watching my video, the chances are you are an awakening being, spiritual soul, and you believe in love and light. If you want to understand where you lie within the spiritual aspect, I want to give you 9 kind of elements of spiritual awareness or spiritual awakening. I was going to share in this video the various elements of awakening, but I decided that perhaps that deserves a video all on its own. So I will create that video. But understanding, and the quick pointers that I use is, for me, the 9 levels, I've based it around numerology, and it makes sense. It's probably the way I've been working through, or am working through, my own spiritual awareness and awakening. And that is 1, the wake-up call, like as a new start. 2 is about really connecting into my feelings, becoming quite idealistic in what's going on. 3 was about the dark night, or is about the dark night of the soul. Let me tell you, it's not one night. It certainly wasn't for me. 4 is the part where we have to reground ourselves. 5 is the what's next. You know, going to take a new direction? Are we grounded? Are we ready? 6 is about finding your new tribe. 7 is about knowing versus owning and doing the real inner healing. 8 is about owning and knowing your mission. Numerology is great for all of this, but when you want to know your mission, it does lie in your numbers. A good number to check out is your expression number. I have been creating that series, so do go and check out that playlist link below for your expression number. 9 is about forgiveness and transformation. We are a soul having a human experience, and this is what I want you to come back to. Use this energy of July, this gentle energy, to start doing this work. Be tentative in your awakening. It's going to change your whole perception of your past and your future, of everything you've ever been told and what you've never been told. For me, while it's been a roller coaster ride, I am so grateful that I was nudged and knocked enough to wake up. I know some people don't like it, like the awakening, wake up call, etc. But I don't know how else to say, get out of the programming that you've been living your life in. Get out of the things that don't serve you and really connect to who you are. Love yourself like you are the best thing ever, or the best being ever, the best person ever. And if you can do this, it really will radiate out and create just wonderful relationships for you. This is a gentle month. Be gentle with yourself. Now, if you've liked this video, do give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please do push that notification for the video elements of the spiritual awakening. Also, if you want to check out your expression number, do go and check my playlist. I've also got a life path playlist and your personal years. This month is an 11-2 energy, which affects all of us. You've each got your own personal year and your personal month energy. So go and check that out and see how that's playing out. If you've got any comments or questions, please do leave them in the link below. And if you're interested in a reading, consultation, or mentorship, then do get in touch. My website isn't working properly. I say this all the time. I don't even know how to fix it, so I'm going to be honest. So do leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. We'll find a way of getting in touch so that we can work together and let you really understand the core of who you are and why you're here. Remember, it's your life. LYFE. Love yourself first every day, and then you'll get to shine bigger, bolder, brighter and better. Then you attract the love us. And if we do this all around the globe, could you imagine the lightness and the love that will come down upon us and help us turn this situation around that we have here in 2020. Remember, 2020 vision is it's time to see clearly now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.